Welcome back to the deep dive. We're jumping straight into the source material today,
Yeah, let's get right into it.
and it looks like we're seeing some really maybe game-changing AI tools emerging, things that could fundamentally shift how we, work and do research.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The material you've got here really highlights two specific platforms that seem to be pushing things forward in, well, pretty interesting ways.
Right. We're going to focus on Fellou 2.0 and Genspark's download agent.
That's the plan. And these aren't just like small tweaks. They sound like really ambitious efforts to get AI handling complex tasks that normally mean loads of clicking, copying, pasting, jumping between tools.
Exactly. So our mission here for you listening is to really pull out the key insights on these. We want you to get a clear picture. What are they? How do they actually work? And maybe the big question, why should you care? How could they actually save you time or, boost your productivity?
Think of it as us trying to distill the essence, the real core value, so you can quickly figure out if they might fit challenges you're facing.
Okay, let's kick off with Fellou 2.0 then. The description is, well, pretty ambitious. It calls it more than a browser extension, a full stack AI execution layer. That sounds significant. What does that actually mean in practice?
Well, it basically implies it operates across your whole digital setup, right?
Yeah.
From what you see on screen down to like system actions. The core promise, from what the sources say, is taking charge of your workflows, start to finish.
Taking charge how?
By getting rid of all those annoying repetitive bits, constantly copying prompts, pasting results, switching tabs, telling different apps the same thing over and over again, that kind of grind.
So instead of me conducting the orchestra, moving data between, say, my email and my project manager, Fellou does it.
Precisely. That's the vision laid out. You tell it the outcome you want, like get feedback on this and log the bugs, and Fellou supposedly figures out the steps and runs them across all the tools needed.
Okay, and the sources talk about full workflow handling. What kind of workflows are we talking about? Is it just simple stuff?
It seems pretty broad, actually. The list they give is quite long. Everything from pitching brands, replying to sales leads automatically, building out Notion pages, even auto-posting content. And it apparently goes further, weaving together writing, design, even coding tasks within one single instruction. This is one example that really jumps out.
Yeah, what's that?
You asked for a meditation app, right? Tailored to your stress level results. And Fellou is described as delivering not just the audio guide, but also background music and a fully functional website, all from that initial prompt.
Whoa, okay, that's more than just generating text. That's building something integrated.
Exactly. It feels like a step beyond just content generation.
Yeah.
And then there's the always-on capability they mentioned.
Right, what about that? Does that mean it just sits there waiting?
Kind of, but it's active waiting. It's designed to run 24/7 in the background, keeping an eye on platforms. You tell it to Gmail, Discord, Notion are mentioned. And it acts on your behalf based on rules you set.
So it's not just a one-shot deal. It can actually monitor things and react?
Yeah, exactly. The example given is pretty neat. Tell it to watch your Gmail for product feedback. When someone comes in, it could automatically thank the user and log any bugs mentioned straight into Airtable. And the source suggests this could happen before you even open your inbox.
Okay, that could clear up a lot of admin clutter. But how does it manage these complex things across different apps? The sources mention long-term memory and multi-tool logic. Sounds complicated.
Well, this is where that execution layer idea comes back in, I think. It supposedly tracks every step it takes within a specific workflow, even as it moves between different applications. It remembers files, tools it used earlier, instructions you gave it in that context.
So it doesn't forget what it's doing halfway through?
Apparently not. The example used is asking it to pull, say, the top 5 authors from a PDF. Then, in the same workflow, you ask it to find their contact info.
Right.
Fellou is described as being smart enough to know, okay, for contact info, I need to check GitHub, maybe Google Scholar, maybe Contact Out, and then it pulls it all together into a clean CSV file for you. That ability to hold context and pick the right tool for the next step seems really key.
That cross-app awareness is pretty sophisticated. And this is all running on some new tech, an upgraded framework.
Yeah, Fellou 2.0 uses something called the Eco 2.0 framework. The sources give it credit for a big jump in task success rates, reportedly from 31% up to 80%.
Wow, that's significant.
And they mentioned it's open source and uses multi-agent orchestration. Fancy term, but it basically means it coordinates different AI actions across your browser, code execution, system commands, files. That's how it can actually control different parts of your digital environment to get a job done.
So it's really digging into the system and the things it can actually produce. You mentioned the website, but what else?
The list is pretty diverse, showing its range.
Yeah.
According to the descriptions, websites, but also pitch decks, logos, code projects, even like really specific things like 3D Minecraft scenes, music tracks, social media posts, video transcripts, content calendars, writing in different languages, reports, research papers. It's a broad mix.
A 3D Minecraft scene of the Eiffel Tower is one of the examples mentioned, isn't it? That's oddly specific.
It really highlights the range, though, doesn't it? The source uses that exact example you ask for it, and Fellou supposedly delivers a finished scene without needing more input. It suggests it's not just for text or data, but creative and, like, structural tasks, too.
Okay, so let's sum up Fellou 2.0 for the listener. Why should you care about this? What's the main takeaway?
I think the core takeaway is its ambition to automate those complex multi-step processes, the ones that usually have you juggling different apps and manually moving information around. It's trying to be a digital assistant that manages whole tasks across your tools without needing constant hand-holding.
Right, so if your work involves a lot of that digital juggling, stitching tasks together across software.
This is aiming to take that load off. It could potentially free up a serious amount of time and mental energy.
Makes sense. And if automating whole workflows sounds interesting, the sources say you can check out a free trial at tally.stormdbzbr or just learn more at fellou.ai. Okay, let's shift gears. Let's talk about the second tool we're digging into, Genspark's download agent. This one's highlighted specifically for researchers, right?
Absolutely. Anyone who's ever done a literature review, researchers, students, analysts, you know the pain, right?
Correct.
Finding papers, checking if you can even access them, downloading them one by one, trying to keep them organized, it just eats up so much time.
Yeah, that initial gathering phase can be brutal.
Totally. And Genspark's download agent is pitched as a direct fix for that specific headache.
And the fix is automation, just making it happen.
Pretty much. The core idea is give it one prompt, and it automates that whole find, download, organize process for you.
Okay, how does that work in practice? What do you actually do?
So according to the material, you head over to genspark.ai, sign up for a free account. Then, in their search bar, you type your research topic. And you specifically tell the Genspark super agent to download relevant papers.
Just like that.
Seems so. The agent then scours the web, finds papers related to your topic, downloads them, and this is important, organizes them into folders for you.
Organizes them. Okay, that's useful. Where'd they go?
You get a download collection link. That takes you into what they call Genspark's AI drive. It's like their cloud storage, where all the papers are waiting, nicely sorted. And you can read them right there, take notes alongside them too.
Okay, so it finds them, downloads them, organizes them, and gives you a place to work with them. Can you interact with the papers using the AI, like ask questions?
Yes, and that's a really interesting feature they highlight. When you're looking at a paper in their AI drive, you can hover over it, click a super agent button, and then ask a question about that paper. The key thing they stress is that the AI answers only based on the content of that specific document.
Ah, so it doesn't just pull info from the web or other papers, it keeps it focused.
Exactly, which is great for really drilling down into what a particular study says without getting outside noise mixed in.
Right.
Very useful for careful analysis.
Definitely. What about paywalls? That's always a big hurdle with academic papers, especially if you find them via, say, Google Scholar.
They address that too. The source notes that if you've got a Google Scholar search link, for instance, you can paste that link into the Genspark search bar and specifically ask it to download the unpaywalled versions.
Oh, interesting. So it tries to find the free-to-access ones.
Yeah, it's designed to look for accessible versions if they exist. Could save a lot of frustration there.
No kidding. And I saw something about presentations. It can help with that too.
It seems so.
Right.
There's an AI slides feature mentioned. You upload a paper, tell it how many slides you want, and it generates a presentation draft based on the paper's content.
Wow.
You can then view it right there,
Right.
or export it as a regular PowerPoint file. That could seriously speed up prepping for talks or meetings about research.
That's quite a toolkit just for research. Does Genspark do anything else? Is it only for papers?
Well, the material does mention it also has a general AI chat function, like ChatGPT or Claude. This chat can search the web and uses various models. They list ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, DeepSeek. So it's got broader AI capabilities too, beyond just the document stuff.
Got it. So, okay, let's wrap up Genspark for the listener. What's the core value here? Why should you potentially check this out?
If your work or study involves wading through research papers, doing lit reviews, or even just gathering info from lots of documents, this sounds like a massive time saver. It hits those really tedious early steps. finding, downloading, organizing.
Takes the grunt work out.
Exactly. And then the extra bits, being able to ask questions inside a paper, getting quick presentation, drafts those tackle common bottlenecks when you're actually using the information you've gathered.
Streamlining the whole research workflow, basically. And if that sounds good, the material says head to genspark.ai, free account sign up, and you can try the download agent. So, okay, we've dug into two pretty interesting tools here, Fellou 2.0 and Genspark's download agent, both leveraging AI, but tackling different kinds of friction points in digital work.
Yeah, Fellou's really going after those complex, multi-step workflows that span different apps, trying to automate the whole chain from idea to delivery, ideally without you needing to step in constantly.
Right, the big picture automation. While Genspark's download agent is laser focused on that research and information gathering pain point, automating the discovery, the download, the organization, even the initial interaction with research papers and documents.
And both, according to the source material we looked at, are presented as ways to claw back significant amounts of time and potentially unlock higher productivity just in different domains.
Definitely. So if you feel like you're drowning in complex digital processes, jumping between 10 different tabs to get one thing done, or if you spend ages just finding and organizing the information you need before you can even start analyzing it,
then these kinds of tools, Fellou and Genspark, are probably worth taking a closer look at based on these descriptions.
which kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it, for you, the listener, to maybe mull over.
Yeah, like, how would your work actually change if entire workflows just happened? Or if you could instantly have a curated, organized collection of research on any topic?
What new kinds of projects could you tackle? What deeper questions could you finally get around to investigating if all that initial setup, that gathering and organizing was just handled? Makes you wonder, right?